Story, and Car Story is where we give you the real car stories. Now, today we are looking at a very important topic, you know, and this topic, I feel like many people have avoided it, but I feel it is a good topic to talk about since it's just good to have a good car, you know. And just to give a detail, we will be still going to the locations that we normally go to do car reviews, but I feel there are topics that we should really handle and talk about on this channel. And the topic we are going to handle today is what to do when you're buying your first car, you know. And when you're buying your first car, those that have bought cars, you know, there is that excitement of buying a car. And so there is that temptation of overlooking some things, you know, and that may bring a lot of problems to your car ownership. And if you have listened to some stories of car owners, most of them have not made good decisions on their first cars. Today I'm here to give you a detailed information on what to look for when you're buying your first car. First of all, as a car buyer, you should know what you want. You know, I normally tell my clients there is no time you'll come to my showroom and I tell you don't buy this car because it has this problem and this problem and this problem. Of course, I want to sell it. So if you want it, I will just go ahead and do the sale agreement and the transaction is over. So you might find yourself suffering with some problems that maybe you could have handled before buying the car. Secondly, is checking the security features of the car that you're buying. Of course, you've identified the car that you want to buy. Maybe you searched on the websites and you have gotten the car you want to buy. So you go ahead and pay a visit to the car dealership that car is, or the person that is selling the car to you. Here lies another mistake people do. The conmen in the market, in the car market, they create a scenario where they make your car buying look urgent. And so they tell you, we are in Mombasa. And so for us to reserve this car for you, you will send us some amount and then you will come later and finish paying the rest of the amount, and then you go home with your car. Be warned, that is a scammer. And many people have fallen to that trap when they are buying their first cars. So what you do after you have identified a car, whether you found it on Facebook, because it is possible to find it on Facebook, if you found it on Instagram, TikTok, on the car dealership websites, make sure before you make any payment, you have gone to the showroom, you have seen the car, you have tested it, and you are satisfied that this is actually the car that I am looking for. Once you've done all that, verify the documents, you know, verify the documents. Verifying the documents, you check if the logbook exists on the NTSA portal. Do not be lied to that this detail was omitted by anyone. The way the logbook appeared on the NTSA portal is what you should consider as truth. If the color of the car is black on the logbook you're holding, and the logbook on the details on the NTSA portal, the car is white, run. If the seller doesn't have any explanation why the car is black on the logbook and white on the NTSA portal, if they do not have the documentation to show why that is it, you should run very fast. Another thing that should be of great concern is if the chassis number on the logbook doesn't match the chassis number on the NTSA portal. And also, you should check the car itself. The chassis number is somewhere at the engine where Many cars you can see it on the engine, like um, I think two cars that I have had a good experience with. The chassis number was just near where that engine area. You'll find the chassis number there, or rather, you'll find it on the frame of the car. Yeah. If there is anything that shows that that chassis number doesn't match, please run again very fast. If there is any tampering with the chassis number, maybe there is a scratch on the chassis number, some numbers are not consistent, please again run very fast. You know what happens in the car market? Once you buy a car, all the responsibility of the car comes back to you. You may look for the person that sold the car for you and you'll never find them. There has been so many cases where people go to police stations to report that they bought stolen cars, and then the police tells them, your case is the 21st. We have received other 21 cases. And so you have to wait for the 21 cases to be dealt with for your case to be dealt with. And remember, when you're dealing with this case, you do not have your car. Maybe your car has been confiscated by the police. And let me tell you, there is no worse nightmare like dealing with car issues, especially when it comes to registration. Another thing you have to check is the previous history of the car. Has the car had accidents before? As the car has car loans, maybe with the banks or Shylocks? Those are very important details that you should check. Otherwise, you may buy a car today, and tomorrow you you're chased by the green Subaru, and the car is taken away from you, and you have a case for another 20 years or so. And then you tell me after 20 years you will still have your car? No, you'll just go to collect some scrap metal from the police station car yard, you know? Yeah, so be very careful when you're buying your first car. Do not be duped, because there are so many things happening in the car market. There are cars that are entering the market and they are not well registered. Some people buy auction cars that maybe the car belonged to the government, it was supposed to be XGK, or it belonged to a parastatal, or it belonged to maybe an organization, embassies or so, and the car was not properly registered. And then you buy that car. It will bring you problems forever. And car problems, you never rest from them. You know, I'm talking in a capacity of a person that has had such an experience where you do not rest. You can be stopped anywhere and your car can be taken when you're anywhere. There is nothing that you can do as long as your car has an issue. And so if you're buying your first car, those are some of the things you should check in terms of security. Something else that you should be very careful about is the fuel consumption of the car. And you should also consider, are you buying the car for your personal use or you're buying the car for business? Of course, if you're buying a car for business, you have a preference of the business that you're doing. Secondly, if you're buying for you, you should check your income. If you're buying a fast car, you should really check your income and check also the fuel consumption of the car. Another thing you should really check is the maintenance. Some cars are very cheap. There are some cars you can get even with 360,000. Very nice car. A car like Mark X. You can get a 2006 Mark X with 360,000. But ask yourself, what is the maintenance cost of that car? How much fuel do you need if you're going to work? To go to work and back. Of course, it's a comfy car. It's a sport car. You'll feel good inside. But will you be able to maintain the car? Those are very important questions to ask yourself. Something else that I normally tell my clients: do not buy a family car on alone. That will really help you. Please try and not buy a family car on alone, because the price you buy the car the price on the car, may it be 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 1 million, is very minimal compared to the maintenance of that car, you know. So you have to be very careful. And when you're buying a car, um, many people advise that you go for uh, the common models, maybe Toyota, Nissan, you know, Mitsubishi, uh, Honda, but it depends with your preference. If you feel that you have the might to take care of the car, even if it's a BMW, even if it's a Mercedes, some Mercedes Benz are very cheap to maintain. I have not seen a BMW that is cheap to maintain. Or Porsche Cayenne, I mean Porsche. Volkswagen is a bit friendly depending on which model you're buying, but Toyota has it. Toyota has it in the market. So be warned, when you're buying a fast car, just check those things so that you'll not land into problems. And that is it for today. And until next time, please continue subscribing to my YouTube channel, continue liking, continue commenting, and give us your views on this video. And until next time, bye bye.